Hello and welcome to another update video about Natgas. So yeah, dip into support here. We only talked about it yesterday that we are likely in a fourth wave now and that we have to expect either a few more days here of sideways action sort of in this triangle or a dip into the support area a little bit lower with an ideal target being the 38.2 retracement level, which is the $3.15 level. So let's see if we get there actually. We're going to take a look at the micro count in a minute, but for now, nothing is happening that would invalidate this option here higher, this current micro count that we're tracking. So that's all within the parameters that we have outlined so far, even though it looks like a dramatic sell-off, which, well, it looks like it, but if it's a C wave of wave 4, which it seems to be, then, you know, this can be impulsive. So no reason to worry at this stage. But I also explained to you that the relevant support here is around about $3.03, $3.04, and below that level, a much lower or a much deeper decline will come into focus. And we would then talk about the potential that possibly the wave C of 4 is already over, that our rally into the target area is already over. Ideally, though, I would at the moment like to see it a little higher, but it doesn't need to. It has come into this region that we have outlined for many, many months, and it can, of course, turn to the downside at any point. That is why we're tracking bullish support. But as long as we're holding the $3.03, $3.04 level, which is basically the lower support of our current bullish scenario, we have no reason to change it, okay? So we're always trying to understand what are the relevant parameters within the current scenario to know if we can keep our current scenario alive or not, okay? So only when those parameters are broken, not only your risk management 101 comes into place then, but also we have to have an alternative scenario ready. Now, looking at this, obviously we talked about that yesterday and the days before and the weeks before and the months before. We are dealing here probably with a flat structure, A, B, C. The only question is how high will this C wave go? It certainly has done enough, but it would look a bit strange if it finishes here. It can do that, yeah, it can always finish here, but it would be ideal to push a little higher at least, to finish off at least a few more of those subwave structures higher into the region between $3.91 and $4.50. Eventually, and that's still the underlying trend and still the overall idea, primary scenario, that we will see one more low into the $1.40, $1.50 region potentially. Yeah, that is the primary scenario. And if we have to change it, I will always highlight to you what would need to happen for us to change it. But at the moment, we are far away from that anyway, from that perspective. Now, let's go into the micro structure. The idea was that here last few weeks, it was early September, we had a wave 1 to the upside, a wave 2 to the downside into end of September. Yeah, had a nice setup here and pushed higher in the third wave. So this third wave was complete. Talked about that in yesterday's video, that we were assuming the third wave would complete and that we have to allow the price to get sort of into this region. Somewhere here, the consolidation will take place. Yeah, and unless we break below $3.03, we can focus on higher and continue to focus on higher. Gave you two ideas how this could unfold. First of all, we always need to have on the radar that, that wave 4 can unfold as a triangle. Now that has been invalidated, or that this is just an A, B, C structure, basically as a flat correction, which was the other scenario I explained to you. And this is, of course, what seems to be playing out now. So an A wave down might have been this. The B wave to the upside would be the high in a 3-wave move. And now we probably come down in this C wave. And this would be the wide wave count, wave 4. Which could still lead to a fifth wave. Now, next support will be at $3.15 and below that $3.04. And yeah, it's coming down in quite a straight line, so it's really hard to say what the microstructure is. But I would argue that there is a chance that up here we had a small 1-2 setup of wave C. And 1-2, I mean, the thing is this another 1-2? It's a bit too long for that. Again, microstructures, they are always difficult. Could even be that this is unfolding as a diagonal. So basically having here an A wave. Let me think. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's certainly not given us any strong indication that this move to the downside is finished. What would be the level that we now need to see broken to highlight that the fifth wave to the upside has begun? So the downtrend is alive short term, as long as the 50% fib level isn't broken to the upside. That level at the moment is $3.34. If we get a break above that level, we can say that, okay, possibly we are now pushing higher, because the 50% retracement level is typically the level that if we see that broken would indicate that this local, well, that an impulse or a trend basically breaks, okay? So now this is a short-term downtrend in a C wave that is likely going to break with a break above $3.34. It's not a rule, but it's quite a reliable indication, yeah? Or guideline. Yeah, and that's what I'm watching now. I mean, there's nothing that would be unusual. It's a bit of an aggressive setup, that's true. So it definitely means we have to be a bit cautious, be careful. But we are not even in the lower half of the support box. So that's sort of what I'm going to watch for the next few days. Doesn't look like this move down is finished yet, so it probably subdivides a little lower. And the levels I'm going to watch are $3.15. The 38.2 fib level, always the ideal target for such a fourth wave, and the $3.3, $3.4 level, and then to the upside $3.34, and a break above the $3.45 level would be a breakout point to the upside. Yeah. What we can also do, we can take the length of what I have labeled here as A wave. We go to the high of the B wave, and we're looking for Fibonacci extensions, and we can see it reached the 1.618 extension level perfectly. I mean, this is a level that ideally a C wave doesn't even go beyond. So we are now in the support region. Anywhere in here, we now need to watch for reversal patterns. But of course, at the moment, it seems like there is still quite a bit of downside pressure. And the downside pressure can be kept alive as long as the price stays below $3.34, which is that 50% fib level. That's my update about Natgas. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, last week we launched our stocks and S&P 500 service. If you're interested in daily S&P updates and selected stocks, basically their video updates plus written updates as well, then check it out. The link is in the video description. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.